is that Clown has confirmed that Eddie and Frank are canonically in a relationship together.
What? What? Eddie and Frank? Well, dang. Hello everyone, it's me, JUAN Gamer 54, back in video. Today, finally, we are going to be reacting to Game Theory Welcome Home. Man, it's been so long since we did a video on that. And man, is this a late video too. Hey, but if you guys checked out the other video, you guys already know why I've been gone. So, you should be seeing the IR card right now. Alright, we are going to be reacting to the video, so I'm just shutting up, and I'm just going to let you guys enjoy. Let's do this.
Frank is being removed from Welcome Home.
Not Frank!
Is here, and he is the one under the microscope, with his deepest, darkest fears revealing that his fate may be worse than all the others.
Dang! What are they going to do my boy Frank? I guess I should also... I think there's one other thing I forgot to mention, right? I forgot to mention... I did make a playlist for you guys on the last video. Last video I described that I made a playlist because originally there was supposed to be like a 1 hour compilation, right? Of all my reactions to Game Theory's Welcome Home videos, but you know, the whole thing with my editing software corrupted and all that, so that's why we didn't get it. So that's why the playlist is being made. But hey, leave down in the comment section below if you guys are interested for that. But let's go.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show that always remembers to wave up high. And
Alright.
if you're familiar with that phrase, you know that means there's been an update to one of our favorite ARGs.
Welcome Home.
A mysterious 70s kids show that we've been breaking down update by update for a few years now. You see, while the show appears all squeaky clean, inside is a dark truth. Home, the living house in the center of the neighborhood, has an evil intent for the neighbors, leading like a cult and coercing our main man Wally into carrying out its desires. In the last few updates by discovering hidden videos, we have seen that Home has been bringing the neighbors to their breaking point and exposing them to their worst fears in order that they all fall in line. They make Eddie the mailman feel unwanted, Poppy the family bird feel alone, and Julie the joyful monster responsible for bringing spring unable to grow a single flower. Despite Home's control over the neighborhood, Wally seems to be breaking free. He is the one leading us to these secret videos, revealing the dark secrets behind this show and exposing Home. And he's back at it again with this brand new update. This time revealing to us the truth about the bug-loving, book-smart Frank, the guy we felt has been our man on the inside. Try that. Frank has always been this interesting character, to be honest. Like, he was the one who was breaking free the mailman. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce. I really been gone for a while. I'm sorry. But yeah, Frank here was literally making sure that everyone does not fall into possession of Home. So he got my support. So now it's his turn. Although, let me tell you, theorists, his fate is going to be far worse than anyone else's in the neighborhood. What? When you first enter the website, you are met with a trigger warning page. It's basically laying out what the ARG is. I guess they wanted to make sure people were not stumbling into this Sesame Street looking website. Oh, come on, bruh. Website, you have to click this door, and you are then met with Home trapped inside Jelly. And when I see Jelly, there's one person I think of. Put my stuff in Jello again. No, not him. The neighbor who loves Jelly. And is now sitting on the front. Frank. We've also got new cards for the Floriography game that we found in the last update. As Frank's new rule set. There's 2 new audio storybooks, and there's mention of a bug dog toy. But that's toy? That kind of looks like something you would see in Poppy Playtime. The Welcome Home Restoration Project, there was some unforeseen circumstances. A live animal in one of the boxes, which, according to the Away from Prying Eyes website, hatched from a toy egg. I guess the old adage I was taught when I worked in television is true. 2 things you should never work with: children and animals. But just because there's a lack of physical discoveries doesn't mean there aren't a whole bunch of secrets waiting for us. We've once again got bugs all over the site. However, instead of being clickable like last time, they seem to be guiding us towards the secrets. On the news, for example, a bug is sitting next to an image of Frank. Click on it and a crumpled up note appears. Dear Wally, I'm not sure why you asked for this, but here you go. A drawing of your telephone button. Frank. Wally's telephone button is pretty so Frank and Wally are in cahoots then. iPhone has led us to secret pages where we can talk to Wally. So naturally, I'm gonna click on this drawing. And when you do, you are taken to a new web page called Ring, Ring, Ring. This is similar to a URL from the last update, a page called Ring, Ring, where we learn
but now
Wally
it's...
is breaking free from Home's control.
And look at the eye glaring at us,
To
bro.
find Julie's secret videos. This URL is the same. There is an audio file to play, and Wally is speaking to us once again.
There you are.
Hey.
You would succeed when you found what I gave you. Could you hear it? Then
Dang, his voice is being corrupted. I think it's home probably again.
is easy.
Dog.
Remember what you saw, just like last time.
Wally has more truth to show us, and you know me, I'm always interested in...
I'm sorry for pausing so much on this, but why do I get the feeling that the dog is very metaphorically, or more realistically, they're gonna do the dog like they did Susie's dog? Oh no. I hope not.
So I guess we have a hunt to go on. Let's go through every page of the website and see what secrets are lying there. On the
Bet.
neighborhood page, a bug jumps onto the street below and does a sick backflip by Home, but
Dang.
Home doesn't do anything. It just shows us Wally's page like it usually does. And that's because the secret is actually on the Home animation at the top of the page. A little obtuse, but okay. Suddenly,
Interesting.
the page goes dark and highlights Julie's house. For the first time, we can go inside one of the neighbors' houses. And this page is
Oh,
called
no.
Our
Our
There is a
home.
bunch to look at here too. The window
Okay, I
is
genuinely thought it was gonna be
window
like
stairs,
it's
there's
all
a
tattered and
Frank
destroyed.
wall, a photo of the Joyfuls, and a gift addressed to Frank. But the most interesting part is the dresser. We can see a phone on the floor like it's been abandoned. The vanity has some flowers addressed to Julie from Frank, and the dresser drawer
Okay.
has another note from Frank. In our last theory, we saw
Yeah.
Julie crack. She is supposed to be able to make the
IR
flowers
card should be showing up right now, I think.
manage it for this singular black flower. She then freaked out when Frank showed up, and now she's gone into hiding. Stopped answering her phone, looking out the window, afraid of being seen because she failed. And so he's trying to write to her to figure out what's wrong, but she's locked herself away. Although
Dang.
this note contains one more secret. On the note is a butterfly. Clicking it will squash it, and a wing will be left behind.
Dang.
And a new page is revealed. It says,
Finish it. Specimen A.
And right here, we have our first secret video. Oh boy, let's go. You are very good at this game. Keep going. Come back to our home when you have it. All 6 pieces. So, this butterfly wing is one of 6. Finding them shouldn't be too hard either, especially with our animated bug friend pointing us in the right direction. Maybe we should...
But I'm pretty sure the bug's gonna
Jeff.
betray
How does
us.
that sound, Jeff? Oh, who's a good insect? You are. Yeah, you are. Anyway, our next bug is on the sticker page. Jeff is doing backflips over the neighbors section, and right there is another bug.
Oh, come on.
Huh, I guess this isn't a simple ABC deal. I wonder if that will be important later.
Oh boy.
Shadow it. Regardless, in this
Dang,
video,
they just
Frank
crushing
is
all
dangerous.
bugs, bro.
But when Wally shows up, Frank says something interesting.
You don't understand home. I do not. Home does not talk. Well, not like you or I do, but he still speaks in other ways.
Frank goes on to say that he taught Home Morse code so that Home could communicate.
Oh, so it was you, Frank. Oh, so it was you, Frank. You were the one who told House to do all this. It was you. I thought it was Wally or Home did it by himself. Nah, it was genuinely you. Why?
This evil kind of glitch was because Wally was jealous. He's the one who's supposed to communicate with Home. Home is his friend. Or God, it's unclear. But now Frank can talk to him too? He has to go. But that isn't the case. Because from that clip, Wally can't talk to Home at this point. Instead, I think this must be an earlier part of the timeline. At the end of the video, Frank also agrees to teach Wally Morse code, meaning Wally could then communicate with Home. And maybe that was what put this whole thing into motion. Because
What?
now that they could communicate, Wally could access the power of the void underneath Home and cause all of his friends to break so that they would never leave, always needing him. But that's early speculation. Let's get back to
Why?
the bug hunt. On the food
Okay, I know. I'm pausing a lot, and I apologize greatly on that one. But so you mean to tell me that this? So Frank pretty much was the one who could communicate with House first, and not Wally. That, huh? I ain't gonna lie. That is I don't know how I feel about that. So what was Frank the original owner? Like, was Frank the original ringmaster? And now he's trying to start a coup?
By scrolling through the images, you find specimen P over the crispy sweets.
Dang.
With the video showing Frank heading over to Poppy's house after checking in on Julie. But then we begin to hear radio static.
Locks on the cabinet? Is she scared everything will come flying out at her? Oh, the pantry, too.
These are clearly Frank's thoughts we're tuning into. He is concerned about his friend. Hold on, is that a...
What?
Pack the bowl, too. Poppy, are you trying to lay me out on my ass? No, stop.
Hey, yo.
We know Poppy is a bit of a chicken and is constantly jumping at stuff. And back in the 60s and 70s, when the show took place, songs were widely popular as a way to relax. But this is a kids' show.
Come on, bruh.
In response to this, Frank brings up Poppy's breakdown from Brick by Brick and asks if she was using the bong when it happened.
Oh, no, never forward.
Bro, what?
Oh my god, do you remember, Frank? The look on Ron's face. He was so worried.
Okay, first of all, who the heck is Ron? And second of all, this is crazy, bruh. I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. I mean, like, look, I know times were different back in the day, but God. I mean, wasn't there a commercial where, like in the Flintstones, like back in the day where it's all black and white? Wasn't there like an ad where like people were forced to put ads in their cartoons? So one minute you'd be like, you know, Fred Flintstone and Barney was just like chilling, and the next they pull out some, a pack of smokes. Like I think so, man. I think times were different back in the day.
He isn't one of the neighbors. He's editor.
Ah,
TW from the secret site, unless the creator clown is just the biggest troll of all time. But
dang.
this name has come up on the website before, once. On the About Us page, it credits Ronald Doreley as the creator of Welcome.
Okay, the creator. Okay.
All we know about this guy. But
This is the first time we actually heard about the creator.
Something I'd not really considered. These characters are real people. Ron is not a part of the show. He's the creator on set watching it be filmed. When Poppy had her mental breakdown, Ron was there and concerned. That, along with the bong that Poppy uses on days off and weekends, and Frank bringing up these less child-friendly topics, means that the videos we are watching aren't from the show, but behind the scenes.
What?
It makes sense. These aren't videos found by the WHRP. They're secret videos that Wally is revealing to us. Videos no one has seen because they were never public episodes.
They were never aired.
To get to the bottom of this now. And this next one requires us to use
Bro, that froze a lot of the things that happened back in the day. That froze a lot of tapes.
Wildly and pray it works. And it does. Just like that, we find a hidden link in the neighborhood.
Oh no.
Squash the butterfly and you get specimen E, and a continuation of one of the home warming videos where Eddie has his panic attack with Holmes staring at him. That video.
Yeah, so what's the new context now, knowing that this is possibly now from behind the scenes?
Frank decides he should go too, but before he can, Julie grabs his hand. And once again, we hear the radio sound and begin to hear Frank's thoughts.
Julie stopped me. She grabbed my hand. But what did she say? Was it really her? No, I have to go.
He's becoming forgetful, which is concerning. And then he turns around. It isn't Julie holding his hand.
It was Wally.
Frank begins to question what's going on, with Wally insisting he stay. When Frank refuses, Wally lets go, letting Frank fall into an empty void as he begins to forget more and more. The whole show's premise is about being a good neighbor, which Frank is.
And did you saw Wally's eyes? They were red and blue.
What shows us is it's less about being a good neighbor generally and more about being a good neighbor in the eyes of Wally. During Frank's conversation with Poppy, when she talks about not making a fuss over her breakdown, we see Wally's eye flash frame on the screen. It's about doing things how he wants them.
Oh, come on, bro.
Disobeys Wally, he lets him fall into the void to be alone in the darkness, to suffer like Eddie, Poppy, and Julie have. Frank
Dang.
is the smartest of all the neighbors, so him becoming forgetful is the perfect torture for him. One that will show him not to disobey Wally ever again. Another one of the specimens can be
Bro,
found.
I'm not gonna lie to you. They gonna do. I've been knowing that Frank was going to be in the chopping block. I've been knowing that Frank was going to be on the chopping block in one of the videos way back when. Okay, he was knowing too much. Okay, he was pretty much, the save. He was pretty much the MC technically. Technically, I mean, he was there for Julie, for the mailman and everyone. But like, I just knew that sooner or later they're going to get to him. But nah, I didn't think they were going to do him like this. Erasing his memories one by one? That is so sick.
Toy page. But it's not as straightforward as
But
the
like,
others.
why
The
though?
omission
If
of
he's
this
the one
page
who
on the cards
basically
for
learned how to
Jeff
talk
is
to
pointing
House.
towards these images. But it's not the cards you need. It's the Floriography game board, which you can click on to take you to a full-size.
Oh no,
There,
another.
over the finish line is a dragonfly, specimen R. This video follows on from what we saw last time in Julie's update, where she's breaking down over being unable to open a mysterious black flower.
I can still hear it. I can hear it calling to me, Frank.
This is where our boy Frank comes in.
We're going to dig it out.
Oh, no, Frank, please no.
They go back and forth for a while until finally Julie gives in. Frank tells Julie to go home while he digs up the flower and hides it. Frank is once again seeing the distress caused to his fellow neighbor, just like Eddie and Poppy. But after this whole Eddie incident, he's decided to take a more active role in solving the problem, openly defying the mess made by Wally and Home. Sadly, though, based on what we saw from Julie's room earlier, his attempts to fix the problem aren't working. She's become a hermit, ashamed and hiding away.
So basically making it worse.
Digging up the flower. She's isolating herself. Exactly what happened to the others, playing right into Home's hand. If Home has hands. Now it's time to track down our final specimen, which starts on the storybook page. Weirdly, Jeff is not near the new stories, but over the Sweet Briar story from the last update, where Julie and Frank reenact Sleeping Beauty. Jeff is also using a new animation. He's digging rather than pointing or backflipping. Clicking around there does nothing, and there's no other pages revealing.
And I don't think
anything,
it's the
which
leaves
leaves me
either.
with only one thought. We need to see what's beneath the surface of the web page.
Okay.
The website's code. By using the inspector tool, we can see text in between the
Okay.
code, the animated banner, and the
We're going a
Sweet
little
Briar
deeper on
title.
this one.
It's a riddle. I know something you don't know. It is 2 words long. The first word is sweet. The second word is a flower. Intertwined, they call to mind the face of a neighbor he pretends not to know.
Okay, so
the
definitely
first word
in
is called
relation to
sweet.
Frank.
The second word is a flower. And given the new flower cards found in the Floriography game, it has to be one of these flowers. There are
Forget
6,
me
so
not.
clues to narrow down exactly which flower is the key. The answer, believe it or not, is on Clown's eShop. Yes, really. Now their merch shop is part of the ARG. And
That is crazy.
Deer plushie. And 2 cards. You see, each character plushie comes with a flower pin. The flowers used are the same flowers used in the Floriography game. Pop
Bruh, that is insane. Now we having active merch into this? That is so OD.
has the Zephyr flower, Sally the anemone, Eddie the lavender, and Howard the apple blossom. That means the flower we are looking for is associated with one of these characters. And our new reliable pal Jeff is here to show us which one. On the main page,
man.
Jeff goes right to the bottom and crawls to the banner with all the neighbors. They all look like they usually do, except for Eddie, who has a lavender behind his ear now. Eddie
What?
is also growing lavender in his garden on the neighborhood page.
Oh,
Lavender
great. Now we're
has
going to
to
see
be
the
second
flowers
word.
mean
By
something.
putting Sweet Lavender at the end of the Welcome Home URL, we are met with a page of lavender and specimen C, our final piece.
Bet.
This video is backstage during the Sweet Briar play. As Frank is preparing, he's thinking to himself, wondering why he always is given the prince role. But as he's thinking, Eddie comes up to Frank and asks him to fix his outfit. We then return to Frank's internal thoughts, and he's angry about the whole exchange.
How many do you think he is? Pushing me around like that. He acts like he doesn't even remember. Does he not remember? Remember me?
What is he talking about?
Yeah, what is he talking about? My boy Eddie is just trying to help you up, trying to help you look, fresh. What my boy Eddie do?
Their anniversary, and that might not be far from the truth. Eddie's flower is lavender, which has many meanings, but one of the biggest historically is its association with the LGBTQ community. In the
Oh,
1950s
you gotta
and
be kidding me,
1960s,
bro.
there was a moral panic called the Lavender Scare. During this time, homosexuals were seen to be a risk to national security and were often considered communist sympathizers. This led to many of them being ostracized from their friends and family, being harassed by police, and often losing their jobs, even to the point where President Eisenhower signed an executive order barring homosexuals from working in federal government. It was an absolute. Is that Clown has confirmed that Eddie and Frank are canonically in a relationship together.
What? What? Eddie and Frank? Well, dang. Well, dang. You know what? I see you, Frank. I see you. I see that you like the big guy.
Welcome Home takes place in the 70s.
Oh,
It was illegal in many states.
no. Come on, gang.
Are real people, meaning that this relationship between Eddie and Frank was likely frowned upon and it seems hidden from the public.
My boy. Come on. Let love be love.
Descriptions and news pages, it suggested that Frank and Julie appeared to be romantic partners on the show. We saw the picture of Frank in a...
Oh, no. That is crazy. I didn't think we were going to be entering, like, things, so I might have cut out a little bit of the video, so I apologize, but hey, link is in the description below for the original video. But nah, I know Eddie mad. I know Eddie mad as you taking his man's
house, and it's why he plays the prince in every single play with Julie. This would have been seen as much more acceptable for kids at the time. Plus, the riddle said, intertwined they call to mind the face of a neighbor he pretends not to know. More and more, we are starting to see the real people behind these characters, the lives they live when not being filmed for the show. But here, Eddie is pretending not to know Frank. His breakdown and his fear of home is forcing him to act the part, to play up to his defined character, a character that isn't romantically involved with Frank. But with that, we have our 6 specimens.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I never thought I was gonna say that House is becoming an evil villain, but here we are. We're basically gonna say that House is an evil villain. Interrupting with people's love? Come on, bro. Come on. Dang, bruh. I'm not gonna lie. It's been it's been a while since I tackled Welcome Home, but I didn't expect this to happen. But like, dang, that's... Man, interrupting with people's love. That is so sick.
Spell the word parcel.
Parcel.
I told you they'd be important. If you then go back to our home where we started this hunt and add parcel to the end of that URL, we find a new secret page with one...
Congratulations, I am proud of you.
His shed, hiding the black flower there. As he returns to his house, we begin to hear his thoughts. He decides to distract himself with some journaling, but he notices it's brand new.
You lost your field journal. Don't you remember? You had to get a new one. How could you forget?
Frank's memory is continuing to fail him, and it haunts him, with his thoughts becoming more aggressive, calling him an idiot, telling him no one would read his journal. But it's almost like it's not him speaking, like him falling into the void.
It's like someone else, like maybe Home did it.
Enter his mind and speak to him, twisting his thoughts. All of this culminates with Frank opening his door only to find a red letter on his doorstep, which he looks horrified at. And this is where everything began to fit into place for me. This isn't the first time we've seen this letter. During the WHRP's playthrough of show memorabilia,
Why do I feel like it says, I know your secret?
Picture, Frank holding a red card with a look of fear.
They're gonna expose my boy
We've
Eddie.
speculated about this image for a while. Notice how
That's
Frank
just
has
so
hands.
sick.
This led us down the path
I didn't
of
think we were gonna get a love story within this, but hey.
in a world of puppets trying to infiltrate the neighborhood. However, with all of this new context, I believe we're being told something similar, but slightly different. Frank is definitely the odd one out in the group, but not because he knows too much, but more because he's breaking the rules of the show itself. In the play, he won't kiss Julie, despite that being what he's supposed to do. He not only knows and talks about Poppy's bong, but he's unshocked by it, meaning he's witnessed it before and maybe even partook himself, which is
Dang.
an odd part of his character. He left home warming when Wally told him not to, and he dug up Julie's flower. He even taught Home to use Morse code so that they could communicate, when Home is supposed to be Wally's main friend. But also,
That's sick.
the website tells us that the show format revolved around Wally learning new skills from the cast, not that they would teach each other things. Frank is consistently breaking the rules.
He's a rule breaker.
Off and on screen. He is not the character he appears to be, which is why we see the human hands in this image. This is the real Frank.
His termination papers.
And that red letter? Well, two things. First, we've been looking a lot at the meanings and symbolism of things, especially around florography, which is wildly popular as far back as the Victorian era. During that time, colors also carried strong meaning, with red usually being associated with love and passion, but more specifically, lust and scandal, which is why women caught in adultery were forced to wear a red letter on their clothes. Not
Dang.
the same kind of red letter as Frank's, but you get the picture. Plus, with the show taking place in the 1970s, where homosexual relationships were extremely frowned upon, Frank would sadly fall into this scandalous category. And
I knew it. I knew it. Please just tell me that I'm right. Tell me I'm right that it says, I know your secret.
what I said earlier about the lavender scare being associated with the red scare. But on top of that, the other thing that sprang to mind was an eviction notice. Companies use red paper to emphasize the urgency of the matter, and that's especially common when you're being evicted from your home. See what I did there? And so, I want to point your attention to the latest news article from the Welcome Home site. In it, the WHRP has figured out that Frank was either added to the cast late or removed from the show early in its run.
What?
I believe those two things combined tells us what we're seeing. This is Frank's eviction notice from the show. His socially scandalous relationship with Eddie has begun to draw too many eyes. It's leaking out of just being behind the scenes and is stopping him from taking on his role in the show alongside Julie. But the truth is, he's been breaking the rules for a long time now, betraying his character and the setup of the show, which is what Wally and Home are fighting for. They want a perfect neighborhood where everyone is just where the characters are exactly like you see on TV. They want it to essentially be like Sesame Street. You may have seen blooper reels where real-life actors mess up on the show, but Elmo and the gang never break. The puppets always remain in character. They are still Elmo, Bert, and Ernie. Seems to me like the behind the scenes of this seemingly happy show weren't all that happy. These characters were being forced into molds that didn't fit them, denying their ability to be themselves. But you have to remember the why of it all. Why are we being shown this? We believe that the person revealing this to us is Wally, the good Wally. While the WHO
Alright, the good Wally. We gotta emphasize that it's good Wally.
Wally is revealing to us the pain and suffering that went on, the truth of who these people were. And with our modern lenses, that isn't a bad thing. I mean, again, look at Sesame Street, right? As time's gone on, they've evolved with the times, and now they have diversity of all kinds on that show. So, if we do bring back the show, Wally wants us not to bring back the supposedly clean and polished characters of the 1970s. He wants us to bring back the real ones. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
Alright, and that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And, well, yeah, let me know what your thoughts on this video. I'm not gonna lie. This is, interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think that they were going to tell us that Frank and Eddie were a thing. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think that. I mean, for all the video reactions, I didn't think that was gonna happen. But, hey, at least I know my boy Frank, you know, he got someone special. And Home is trying to interfere with that love? Nah, I ain't gonna lie. You're gonna have to pull up the dukes. Okay, I don't care how goofy it's looked like if I have to fight a literal Home. I'm bringing... Nah, we don't care. We about to scrap. But nah. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. Make sure you subscribe because we got a lot of videos coming up. And yeah, you should be seeing the new recommendations. You should be seeing last time as we reacted to Alex Bale's Barney theory. So that could be something up your alley. And you can also watch, for some Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, because that game is coming very, very soon. With that, ladies and gentlemen, this is JUAN Gamer 54, signing off.